Hello, this is John, back again with the glass cutting series, and we're talking about inside curves. There was a little partial score line here, so I just went ahead and separated it out so we wouldn't run into problems with that. We have two types of inside curves. We have a simple inside curve where the ends stay outside of a 90-degree line, or inside, and that way it doesn't pinch together. Or you got a complex one. Here's a 90-degree line. We said a square on there. And if you notice, the curve goes out past and comes back in, creating a potential catch spot. And so we'll talk about how to deal with this one in a little bit. Traditionally, and how I was taught back in the early 80s, was when you had a curve like this, and you want to keep this part here, you take these small pieces out in sections. And that works, but you didn't have a very smooth line here. So, as I mentioned in the last video, by using a combination of options, let's see if we can't get that in a smooth line. So first we'll score this outside line. I'll step my body sideways. Now I'm going to pause here, shift the glass a little bit. All right. Instead of trying to take out little pieces, we're going to take our running pliers. We're going to lightly squeeze here or pop. And if you look, the score comes down to here. We'll come around the side here, do the same thing. It started all the way down to here. A little bit more pressure and it came down to here. We'll do the same thing on the side here. It's just slow, gradual. We're going to coax it along. Now it's down to here. So all we got is just a small little section about this wide to do. So we're going to take, I have the white paper here so you can see a little bit better than if I'm just over the board. But it's got no thickness to it. We'll put our spongy here, turn it upside down. We're going to try to make it meet. Now I'm going to turn it back over the other way. And look, it did meet. And we're going to push from this side because there's just a thin layer of glass on the other side holding it. Now I'm kind of wiggling out, it comes. So when you do that one piece, another one I get off my line here, we got a pretty smooth line, so that won't take much grinding at all to finish that off. And so this is how I generally do inside curves. It saves a lot of time and generally gives me a lot cleaner look. But as I talked before, I'm not going to get cut, so I'm going to take my Gaussian braking pliers just to ensure there's nothing there to cut myself with. Okay, now for the complex curve. It's really not that complex. We're going to use a combination of the fish scaling and the running pliers. So we'll start off here where the 90 mark is, and we'll go ahead and make us a simple inside curve here. But as before, I want to score the whole line to make sure. I'm going to dip that I can get a nice clean look. Are you hearing that zipper sound all the time? No. I know the pressure's there. Keep my cutter pointed straight up and down when I rotate the glass. Now, to cut my inside, if I started from over here, I take a chance of going over the line. So I'll come over on the inside here, so I'm close to the line without touching it. And I want to make sure I don't go past my point, because I don't want to mess my point up. Now I take my running pliers, listen for light pop, or light click. And you can kind of see it go across over to that line. And this one's just shy of that spot. There, it went past it a little bit. So we can take our spongy thing here. Because we already had it there, we just had to pull it out. Now we can take this part here, and it's actually wide enough that we could potentially get it out in one piece. Let's see if we can get it started. It's down to here. It's over to here. We're going to walk around a little bit. Now it's down to here. It's up to here. There, it went all the way through. Now we're going to turn it over and do the same thing from the back side. Real gentle. And there we go. But if you look here, you can see that big flare. That's what we don't want. So we'll take and bring our box over here. Take a file this time. Now it's nice and smooth. Or at least it's not going to cut us. So we could have at this point here used some fish scales, but since I knew that this point here and this point here did not close in on me, I could work it out. That's one of the times when maybe using the ring star or the turn right side up to where I could have walked it around easier than using this style of grozzing pliers. Might have been handy, but we didn't have to use them. Okay, now we got the rest of this to cut off. Are we going to try to get that out in one piece? No. We'll come up here, and then at this point here, we'll go ahead and just take it off that way. Hit a little bump, air pocket. And this time, where'd my safety brake go? Here it is. Got a pop there. Got a pop there, and it's off. So we got a lot of tools. Got a big flare over here. Now, the thing to remember is if you're going to save this piece, go back through and check this part for flares. Because 9 times out of 10, that's when you get cut. Go into your scrap or your glass storage area to grip, and you move pieces around to find the piece you're looking for, and you hit that sharp flare. So always clean up your piece going back into storage. All right. Now this corner here we can probably do in one piece. So again, we'll use the little green ones this time. You heard it popping. It comes to here. Move around a little bit more. It's coming out to here. It's kind of hard to see sometimes. We'll come back around this side here. Now the thing is, this tip's not hitting on here. So it's not quite as good for that something like that. We'll go to the smaller frame pliers. There's popping. And because it's got a point right here, I'm probably going to not be able to get it to go the whole way. We'll just take and push down from the top side because it's already ran. And all we had was that real thin spot on the back side. Now this little small piece here, we'll take our grousing breaking pliers and pull it off. So now it's just a small spot there. You notice these did not come to points on purpose, because this would have came down to a slight point, or a strong point here. By the time you foil or you lead it, you start getting big globby looking points. So typically with stained glass, you don't have them come to narrow points because you don't want to have that look. Now I could take and put that up to the next one like this and have a heart within a heart. That little point will grind right off. But again, we're going to check and make sure we don't have any flares or surprises. So when we hit the grinder, we're safe. All right, thank you very much for watching.